Protect your DNA. BioPQQ can promote formation of new mitochondria. Infowarsstore.com.
Let me show in a parable to what extent our nature is enlightened or unenlightened.
Bernie Sanders. She's a female, no power.
Envision human figures living in an underground cave.
No, I don't really follow politics, really.
Here they have been from their childhood and have their legs and necks chained so that they cannot move and can only see before them, being prevented by the chains from turning their heads around.
You know, he's a socialist, I believe, and I believe in what he stands for.
Plato, one of the most famous Greek philosophers and historians in world history, famously had his allegory of the cave. If you're brought up in a box, like some of these young women we've heard about who were kidnapped at birth and lived in a trailer until they were 15 years old, you believe that the confines of that box is the universe and is that world. And your captor that comes in to feed you a few times a day and rape you or whatever the case may be, you think that's your father, your mother figure, your God figure. That's everybody to you. And that's why I'm shooting this here in this twilight with just one light above me, is to illustrate visually, not just with facts and statistics, that we are being kept in the dark, and no one more so than Bernie Sanders supporters. This is not a pitch for Hillary or anybody else. The point is, you're really being kept in the dark. What Bernie Sanders is engaged in has been funded for over 150 years by European royalty, the aristocracy, as well as the new robber baron class that was forming in the last 150 years, to scapegoat free market as the problem and to sell communism and socialism and wealth redistribution as a solution when the elites themselves are international in scope, largely exempt from the taxes like Google and General Electric and Warren Buffett today, who calls for higher taxes on the middle class that he calls the rich, but is the biggest recipient, of course, of the 2008 banker bailout. So this is how this scam works, the ultra rich going after the middle class. So when Sanders says the 1%'s the enemy, well, 90% of the 1% hardly have any of the wealth. When you do the math of 7.5 billion people in the world and 6,000 elite managers and owners, according to the Kissinger Group and the book Superclass, written by Rothkopf, the elite themselves say there's 6,000 that own and rule half the wealth of the world, and that's back when that book was written 8 years ago. It's closer to 60% of the wealth now. And so they're desperate to scapegoat the middle class for what they've done, as if Bernie Sanders is greedy and bad because he has $600,000 or, you know, makes $250,000 a year as a senator. No, he buys houses, he buys cars, he buys services. It's that middle class and upper middle class that funds everything. But I want to show you the math, and it varies. You know, there's some estimates that U.S. wealth is close to 90 trillion, public, private, you name it. Some estimates as much as 250 billion globally in real assets, government and private, including charities. But if you look at the derivatives, 2.2 is what our own government says they believe there is worldwide, quadrillion. That's 2,200 trillion and growing. It's derivatives, it's fake. Only Goldman Sachs, JP Morgan, and a few others own it. Only they've been allowed, the mega banks, to engage in such crimes. The same ones that fix the stock market, fix the interest rates, fix the currency rates. So let's come out of Plato's cave and look, not at the 1% that's our enemy, but the point after the 1%. You know, this is of the 1%, the 0.000000. It's been a while since I did this, so we're gonna see what the latest numbers are when we crunch them. We've got some of them pulled up. So let's come out of the cave. And again, we're not offering all the answers in the universe as we come out of the cave, as Plato said. There are other mysteries once you come out. And other truths and other things to discover. It's just one more box we've transcended. But we've got Josh Owens here with some of this pulled up from establishment sources. CNN, how close are you to the top 1%? And then they'll say it's between $250,000 to $400,000. They debate which is the 1%. But if you're making that a year as a household, both people $200-something thousand, then you're the evil 1%, okay? But if you, and I guess you've had time to do this now, divide 7.5 billion people into 6,000 that they admit have more than half the wealth, let's just say half, we come up with an astounding number. So now we have this number, 0.00000008421. So that's the ultra elite. They always say 1% has half the wealth. No. It is that tiny 6,000 that has more than half the wealth. If you actually do the math, which we've done, and actually look at the rest of the 1% or even the 2%, you could take the wealth of the bottom 2%, all of that first point and most of the second point, and it wouldn't run the U.S. for even a year or two. Now, the U.S. has a $19 trillion debt as of Monday. It's now Thursday going into Friday here on the Nightly News. So think about that. Think about that. You're being told the 1% is the enemy all day when it's that very elite that's telling you that they're the problem. We're not saying Bernie's this evil guy because he's 1%. And of course, the little socialists go, that's because you're one of the 1%. It's the dumbest argument I've ever seen. Do you know what socialism and communism delivers? Hell on earth.
Bernie Sanders, for sure, probably.
Okay, so you're feeling the burn. Any particular reason?
Probably as a student, all of his policies about tuition-free college.
Tuition-free college. Free college.
I don't know if it'll be possible, but it works for me.
Who would pay for the free tuition?
Hopefully the rich people of America.
I mean, this is the most gang mentality, dumbed down. It's like, we want to elect Hitler. He says he'll invade France and give us free stuff. I mean, this is a piratical, conquest-born system that we're now in. Alex Jones reporting for Infowars.com. Are you still inside the cave?
So that was Alex Jones breaking down who the true elite are in this world, and also exposing that Bernie Sanders is part of the 1%. Not that there's anything wrong with that, but now we have, right before he goes and debates Hillary Clinton tonight in their first head-to-head, Bernie Sanders is now joining us. Bernie, how are you doing today?
Hey there, Rob, dude.
Yeah. Well, hey, we released your statement today and how pissed off you were that somebody actually stole something from you that you really worked on hard. How do you really feel about these cheaters out there?
Well, I remember when I used to be a principal, and these students would hijack the computers and go to websites like this.
Hey, what about that one?
Oh no, that one's illegal.
Come on, I want to see it. I want to see it.
Yeah, come on, Stuart, do it.
Wow, that is tragic, especially when people learn the real truth about socialism, Bernie. Now, let me ask you this. You lost Iowa over 6 coin tosses. What do you expect from Hillary Clinton tonight?
Well, she's already up to the same dirty tricks. I can't even find my car. Alex Jones told me to be safe here, but I guarantee you, it's that Hillary Clinton. She's already up to it again. Doesn't want me to show up and push the socialist agenda.
Bernie, I see you have in your bunker a homage to Vladimir Lenin, and you've publicly stated you're going from yes we can to yes we will. How much are you going to take from the American people to redistribute to people who don't want to really work?
Well, first off, let's do a simple equation. 1 million plus 1 million equals free. That's the whole plan, you know. Just like they redistributed my votes in Iowa to that Hillary Clinton. And that's what we're going to do, the 1% that I'm definitely have nothing to do with.
That's right. I think it's funny that you're just you're a victim of your own success. You're sitting here touting how great socialism is, and then when it comes after you and bites you in the butt, you really don't like it, do you? Well, I'll give you the last word. What do you have to say to the American people?
It burns.
Well, good luck, Bernie. I hope you do beat the witch, Hillary Clinton. But I don't think you stand a chance in hell in getting the presidency, because once people really see what's behind your plan, they are going to stand up. Now, let's go to your message that you sent to Hillary Clinton, and we broadcasted exclusively here at Infowars earlier today.
Yes, we will.
This is an American president. Just add puppet, then vote and repeat every 4 years.
Look, I don't know what your problem is, but I simply cannot have students wandering the hallways during class, interrupting other classes, and giving prophecies of a great plague.
We believe in win-win, folks, treating people like we want to be treated. That's why we develop nutraceuticals with Dr. Group and other top researchers, chemists, scientists, you name it. He's one of our advisors to come up with products like Anthroplex that is an original product that he made just for us. And this is a base system to make super male or super female vitality work even better. It is natural. It just helps get your body pumping and going in the way you need to be going. And Dr. Group is here till we go to break to tell us about the latest product at InfoWarsLife.com, Anthroplex, that out of the gates, and we do this all the time with the new product, we discount it out of the gates to get you to try it, knowing that you're going to love it. It'll sell out. So InfoWarsLife.com, Anthroplex, 15% off and free shipping for the next 2 days only when you get it with super male or female vitality. Let's go to Dr. Group. Why do you call this the foundation to start the fire, and then the super male takes you to the next level?
Well, we just look at the base problem that's going on right now in all over the world, which is the endocrine disrupting chemicals, the amount of estrogen that men have, the femininity of men, and what's going on even in children right now with low testosterone levels, low sperm count levels, and the problems that in the attack that we're seeing on the endocrine systems of both male and female. So I'm always looking for ways to boost that and to make it more effective and naturally get the body to start producing these hormones and balancing themselves. So what we decided to do was, how can we add a few other components in there that would actually boost the effectiveness of the super male vitality and at the same time address different issues that the male might have, so it would be a full approach. And one of those was zinc. And zinc is actually necessary for the production of testosterone. There's more and more studies coming out that zinc is essential for hormone balancing.
What is in the goatweed? You've got one of the purest, strongest organic forms of it. What's so magic about the goatweed?
Well, the horny goatweed was given that name because years ago in India, they noticed that a certain time of the year, this weed would grow and the goats would eat it and they would just go crazy with all the female goats. So that's how it was developed. It's called epimedium. And what that's been proven to do over thousands of years is increase sexual pleasure, help balance the male hormones. It can actually be used for women as well, but it really kind of resets and brings the hormone balance, improves sperm motility, and increases testosterone levels.
So it counters the stuff they've been throwing at us. Results will vary overall. All I know is dynamite. I mean, absolutely dynamite with the stamina, with the weightlifting, with the swimming. Folks, the new product is available. Anthroplex, available at InfoWarsLife.com. Dr. Group, thank you for developing this amazing product.
Thank you.